Hey soldiers, we got some news for you out of FTX. You won't believe it. Sam Bankman-Fried has a new bail condition, and it serves him right. It's going to have you probably laughing at him pretty hard. This may shut his antics down and get him to start behaving. Takes away one of his little, supervillain powers. We'll get to it in a minute. But first, let's talk about the fact that the attorneys over at FTX that are, doing this bankruptcy work, wow, they are billing the company pretty substantially. And it begs a question, what percentage at the end of the day will they take from from any proceeds that are recovered for investors slash creditors? Okay. Believe it or not, FTX lawyers and advisors cost $38 million for 1 month of work. And the CEO, the guy that came in to handle the bankruptcy, John Ray III, bankruptcy expert, handled Enron. He charged $305,000 for February alone. Now, look, I'm not saying that they're doing anything nefarious. Maybe this is the going rate. All I'm saying is this is another reason why you as an investor have to do a lot of upfront due diligence, okay? Because if the company you've invested in goes into bankruptcy, then this is one of the reasons why you'll get pennies back on the dollar, if you get anything at all, okay? Because the bankruptcy attorneys have to come in, and they are not cheap, all right? So a lot of what may have been recovered so far has gone to pay the attorneys, not back to people who lost money in this. And you might say, well, hey, Tyrone, what kind of due diligence should I have done? Well, this may sound trite. Some people may have a problem with it, but hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about your money. One thing you could have done is you could have looked at the CEO of the company and you could have said, you know what? This is my money we're talking about. I'm not comfortable with this guy walking around in shorts, cargo shorts, and a wrinkled t-shirt. Okay, if he doesn't have enough respect for himself to take a razor to his face and his head every now and then and become clean shaven, how much money could he possibly have? How much respect, rather, could he possibly have for my money? And you might say, wow, damn, Tyrone, that sounds prejudicial. Yep. And I stand by it because I'm not trying to lose money. I don't have limitless amounts of money. So I'm going to make judgment calls. And look, that one wouldn't have saved you with, what's his name? Bernie Madoff, because he was straight-laced, okay? That's the appearance that he gave. In fact, the fraud that he perpetrated, I think I'm going to do like a mini documentary on that, because one of the things with that was that he took great pains to falsify the returns. However, you as the investor could have, made an extra step to kind of double check that, but he was so meticulous that it might not have even worked. Okay, so he died in prison, and that's what he gets. Sam Bankman-Fried may be facing a similar fate for defrauding investors. Hundreds of lawyers, consultants, accountants, and others working for FTX billed a total of $38 million for the month of January alone. This is according to court records cited by CoinDesk. Meanwhile, John Ray III, who took over as CEO in November and was previously responsible for helping clean up energy firm Enron, submitted a bill for $305,565 for the month of February, the report said. The bankruptcy administrators for FTX, which was founded by Sam Bankman-Fried and subsequently imploded in November in what many call crypto's Lehman moment, have retained the law firm Sullivan and Cromwell as counsel, as well as Quinn Emanuel, Uquart and Sullivan, and Landis, Rath, and Cobb. I'm going to put their websites up so we can see what kind of caliber we're dealing with here. I used to deal with a law firm called Skadden Arps when I was in DC. And you ever seen the movie Devil's Advocate? Yeah, man. They must have borrowed creative license from Skadden Arps because it gave you that vibe, man. They're global and they're serious, okay? But it was one of the high dollar firms that Verizon had on retainer. The three firms that I mentioned, and we just looked at their websites, have over 180 lawyers and 50 other staffers working on the FTX case. In addition, consulting firm Alex Partners has been brought aboard to investigate decentralized finance products and token analysis. Financial firms Alvarez and Marshall and Perella Weinberg Partners were retained for accounting purposes. So you got a lot of high dollar, big names involved in this, and it's soaking up a lot of that money. And look, I just want to stress, I'm not saying these people shouldn't be compensated, okay? It is not their fault that this thing went bust. If you want to direct ire somewhere, of course, that needs to go toward the people like Sam Bankman-Fried, Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, Nishad Singh, and plenty of others that knew what was going on and just did not blow the whistle. They knew what was going on. Let's take Nishad Singh. He got a hefty loan out from the company even after he knew what was taking place. Sullivan and Cromwell billed 14,569 hours of work in January for a total of $16.8 million. The second highest charge came from Alvarez and Marshall at $12.3 million, CoinDesk reported. And I guess it's easy to get those numbers up if you're charging $500 an hour or more and you've got, dozens of attorneys and staff working on this stuff, right? Meanwhile, the FTX trading arm sued Grayscale this week in a bid to claw back $250 million to repay customers. So let's say they're successful in getting that back, okay? All right, so if they're successful in getting back $250 million, if the subsequent months are anything like January, then, a substantial portion of that will be taken to pay the attorneys. The lawsuit marks the latest obstacle for Grayscale owners DCG, the digital asset-focused venture capital firm founded by Barry Silbert. Its lending arm, Genesis Global Capital, filed for bankruptcy in January. This is another result of the FTX fallout. So look, guys, this is going to continue for some time, all right? They've got months of work left to do, and a lot of billable hours are going to be racked up in that time. All right, so Sam Bankman-Fried, he's got a new bail condition that's gonna put a little bit of a leash on him. He deserves it. And I'll go you one better with what I think they should have done, short of remanding him, because I already said I would prefer to see that. Many of you in the comments have said that as well. Hey, look, when I tell you what this bail condition is, let me know in the comments what you think about it, all right? So, Justice Department wants Sam Bankman-Fried to use a flip phone for the rest of his bail. In January, SBF allegedly tried to contact a current FTX employee over Signal. Signal is one of those things where you can send messages and they get deleted so you can not leave a trail. And you can't tell me the government can't see that, okay? There's no way you're going to tell me that there's something out there that you can hide from the government and send all kinds of messages and not have them see it. I just do not believe that. In any event, Sam Bankman-Fried may be stuck using a dumb phone for the foreseeable future. In a letter seen by Bloomberg, prosecutors involved in his criminal case said Friday that Bankman-Fried's lawyers had agreed to modify the terms of his bail agreement. Provided the judge overseeing the case agrees to the changes, SBF will be restricted to using a non-smartphone without internet connectivity. Unless a lawyer is present, he will also be forbidden from contacting current or former FTX and Alameda Research employees. Additionally, SBF won't be able to use encrypted messaging apps like Signal. Okay, so do they even still sell non-internet capable phones? Is that still a thing? That's going to be pretty tough to do. And this is why I believe, in all seriousness, what he should have been restricted to was the use of a home phone, a landline phone with no internet capability. So the princess model that AT&T used to have in damn near every home, make that bad boy a rotary dial while you're at it, okay? That's what should have happened, because then it would have been absolutely no way that he could have used that phone to get on the internet and surf, unless he hooked it up to an old school modem, which I'm sure he's perfectly capable of. So they should have prohibited that as well. The penalty for defying that, of course, would have been to be remanded immediately. The proposed restrictions come after Bankman-Fried allegedly attempted to contact the general counsel of FTX U.S. subsidiary. We talked about that, did a whole report on it. I would really love to reconnect. This is what he said to the person, okay? Now, you tell me what you think this sounds like, and I'll tell you what I think it sounds like. You tell me in the comments. I would really love to reconnect and see if there's a way for us to have a constructive relationship. Use each other as resources when possible, or at least vet things with each other, unquote. He said that in one message. To me, that sounds like, and this is according to the Justice Department, this is an alleged, this is something they have on him. Although everything he's been charged with is alleged. He's innocent until proven guilty as far as the courts are concerned. But sounded to me like he was trying to say, hey, let's compare notes so maybe we can, talk our way out of this and get our story straight. Constructive relationship may have been code for, hey, I might slide you a little money if you do the right thing on this by me. All right, and then we've talked about all the other folk that are in the process of cooperating with the government. Listen, I want to say this before I get out of here. Guys, it's fine to disagree with me. I know some people have disagreed with me about various things in the comment. Look, I'm not all-knowing, all right? And I'm going to tell you something else that I do. Confirmation bias, I try to steer clear of it. So what I try to do when I approach a subject is I try to get as much information that is in line with the opposite of my view, okay? And then I go from there. Because I never want to be guilty of confirmation bias. Also, again, I reiterate, if you got to disagree with me, I love it. I want us to, speak constructively in the comments. Plenty of people have said, hey, Tyrone, have you thought about it like this? And they're giving me new information, which I deeply appreciate, okay? So disagree with me is welcome, okay, from me. But if we got disagreements, guys, let's talk about it. I love it. And I love you. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so, do so. Please hit subscribe, hit like, share the content. And I want you to take a look at this particular report we did. It's all about how Amazon is taking drastic measures. They just did something that is pretty amazing in terms of an about face on a corporate policy that was all the rage just a few short years ago. Watch that report, guys. I'll talk to you soon.